The following program contains adult language, poor taste in jokes, racial slurs, political slurs, slants, and all sorts of things that, if you are sensitive and have a delicate constitution, you should probably go watch Teletubbies. You were warned.
I ain't drunk, I'm just drinking. But you're so high. Oh man, you know I ain't high. But you're so high. Yeah, well I just take a little sip every now and then. But you're so high. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Oh, come on now, you all don't feel like that.
Bam! Hey kids, welcome back. We are going to have some fun today. I just fucked up the paint job that was going so well on my Chop Shop hydroplane. So I have to repaint the bottom now because I just fucked up. I'm so pissed. So anyway, no big deal. We're going to do something I have not done in a long time. We're going to do a micro build. Now, again, I don't consider like a Mocha JJ 135 a micro. I consider micros like 2.5-inch props and down. So my brother Richard, my buddy down in Kentucky, asked me, he contacted me the other day, a few weeks ago, and said, dude, would you mind building me a wicked cool micro, like a 2.5-2-inch bird? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. We'll do a build video on it because I haven't done one in a really long time. I can't really even remember the last time I built one. It's been a while. It was my Wasp, probably. So anyway, here we go. This is what we're going to do. We're going to use a TomoQuad EVO frame, which I love. I've built and sold a bunch of these to friends because they're an absolutely awesome frame. Got them the red, I hope. That's red. Comes with a strap now, which is cool. Never used to. We're using a Foxeer micro arrow, as usual. We're using, that's mine, HGLRC XJB F428. So 28 amp all-in-one ESC plus FC combo, which is way too much power for these motors, but you're never gonna blow up the ESC. And then we've got, what is this thing? That's mine too, never mind. I'm trying to go through this shit. We're using the Rotor X RX 1107 7600 motors. These things are sweet. I like these motors. I usually use like DYS 7500s, or I used to use these ones called oh, these are nice. Damn, son. This thing's going to be sweet. Or I used to use these iPower ones and discontinued them, so I don't know why. They were really good. And then we've got the XM Plus receiver, and we're going to run, you guessed it, an VTX03. So, enough of that. This is my crap over here. All right, so I can't believe I fucked up that paint job, man. I pulled a Bardwell on that shit. Oh well, Lincoln David just shakes his head. It's like, dude, should have had me do it. I was like, yeah, I should have. Anyway, so here's the frame. Very, very straightforward. We got little motor protectors, which I normally would not use. But this is not my bird, and Rich is kind of a beginner guy, so we're going to go ahead and put them on. He can always take them off if he wants. These little things, these TPU prints that they use for mounts, I don't use them. I think it's just overkill. So what we're going to do, as usual, we're going to start out with the motors, just like I do on every build that I do. Ooh, what the hell is that? All right. So you'll notice I do not have a roto twister, just straight lemonade. Need to go to the liquor store. So I'll fix that real quick, don't worry. So what we've got, this is going to be the front, obviously. We're going to go ahead and screw the motors on. So hopefully they came with screws that fucking work. God, can't believe I fucked up that paint job, man. It's like, anyway, looked really good. Luckily the top's still nice. I just have to patch up the bottom, which who cares about the bottom, right? Okay, so here we are. Oh, for God's sake. All right. This is going to be a very fast build. This is not hard to do at all. These screws double as motor and prop screws, okay? So if you'll notice, you got long ones and you got short ones, okay? So the two long ones are going to be for our propellers, and I'm going to put those somewhere where I hopefully won't lose them. There we go. We use those later, and they give you a, well, that's a spare, looks like. And our little ones are going to be for the frame. Hopefully to hold the motors on. Hopefully they're long enough. They are. So, bam, grab an Allen wrench, maybe. Ba-ba-da-ba. All right, rock and roll. So, you can Loctite these if you want. I don't think I have ever used Loctite on a micro build. All right, but yeah, whatever blows your skirt up, that's what makes you happy. Rock and roll. So, a couple things about the micros. You know, just I like these motors because they are footed like really, you know, big bird motors, which is nice. So you can tell if you're pushing the screw too far. Bam, just like that. Perfect. I like it. This is going to be sweet. This bird in particular, I told him you could technically run a 4S on this, probably, maybe. My concern, the stack will hold it, no problem. I mean, dude, if you ever want to upgrade the motors on this, once you get a little bit more comfortable with it, rock and roll. It'll handle a 4S. The bird itself, everything on it will handle a 4S, except the motors. I think 7,500 kV motor, you're going to be blowing shit up. So, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to do... I'm not going to braid these. I think this one we're just going to do a wrap on the motor. So what I mean by that is we're going to, hang on a minute. Oh, for fuck's sake. Got boat shit everywhere. All right. So we're going to take some of our silly tape, which is what I call, this is that Silicon Extreme tape that I use all the time. Let's zoom in here a bit. Give us a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to make these nice and flat. I'm not going to braid this one. Just because something different. I don't usually use stock, but this will look really nice too. Okay, so we're going to bring these in. Just like this. Okay, we're going to hold them like this. Pull this around. Like I always say, the trick to silly tape is stretch it. If you don't stretch it, it doesn't stick to itself. Bam. So then what you can do, what I used to do when I had my wife, my smoking hot wife photographer, take pictures of my builds, I actually used to armor all the build before she took pictures of it, and it cleans this dust off of the motors, and it really shines everything up. It looks really fucking cool. Where is that shit? Hang on a minute. I actually cleaned my workbench and I can't find nothing. Hang on. All right, I usually have these little Bardwell baby wipe armor alls, but we'll just have to use this. All right. Spray. Now watch. If you want your birds to look really cool, Armor All works really well. It smells good too. All right. So anyway, I'll do that later. Yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in the other 3. You really don't need to see me do that. So bam, be right back. All right, and we're done. And I fucked up and I forgot to put on the little motor bumper things. I blame you guys. Why didn't you remind me to do that? So here we go. We got everything strapped down. Bada bang. Might have to move these back a little bit. It's all right. So now we're going to put our stack up. All right, we'll tin everything up on the stack. So again, HGLRC F428, great little monsters. These are what I use in the Mocha JJs. Exactly what I use in the Mocha JJs. Sometimes I use the bigger one, sometimes use the smaller one. They do give you a cap that weighs more than the fucking quad. I never use them. If you build a clean system, you don't usually need them. And if I do need them, I'll put a smaller one on. So, let's see here. Here is our 28 amp BL Heli S ESC. And here's our F4 Omnibus flight controller. So, and they give you the mounting hardware, hence why I don't use these little things that come with the frame. I just don't. I think it's more of a hassle than anything. So they give you nice long screws and nice long little sets. So, and it gives you plenty of room for your strap to go underneath. So we're gonna bring the tail right out the bottom. Bam, like that. So, dun, 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 dun. I love this frame. I've built so many of these frames. It's been a while, but I like some of TomoQuad stuff. Some of their shit's pretty good. So, not as good as Mocha JJ, but it's good. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to feed one of these bolts all the way through and just hold on to the nut with our hand. It's faster to do it this way than twist the nut. Okay. Now, a little tip. My smoking hot wife's going to be home in a second with the kids, so I'll have to hit pause. But a little tip. When you've got a multi-stack like this, because we're going to have to slide the ESC on, then we're going to have to slide the flight controller on, don't torque these down yet, because you're going to have a little bit of wiggle in there to get everything lined up. So just get it flush. Make sure you're not pinching any motor wires. Like that. Bam. Cool. Just not even remotely snug, just so it holds to the frame. That's all you got to do. You'll know what I mean when you go to line up the pins. It's like, oh shit, it's too tight, I can't get the damn boards on. Because they'll, you know, kind of go like that. All right. One more. And then we're going to go ahead and tin up. Damn. There's a big ol' ass helicopter flying overhead. You guys hear that? That or it's one of Bardwell's quads with all that fucking electrical tape. I haven't beat on old Bardwell in a while. None of my boys have pointed out anything stupid he's done either. That's what usually gets me going, and because I don't watch his stuff. I heard he finally saw boobies the other day, though. Alright, so there we go. That is going to give us our ESC. You go down flush. Now you'll see what I mean. See how they don't line up real great? That's why you want to leave them a little bit loose. Be careful not to fuck up those pins right there. We're going to go in. Of course, that's being a bitch. See what I mean? Oops. There we go. Okay. Bam. Just like that. Then, take the other 4 nuts. And you do want to use their set if you can. I've got tons of M2 nylon standoffs and all that crap that I could use that were mine. Might be better quality or whatever, but you got to remember this is a pinned board, right? So with a pinned board, you don't want to change the height, if that makes any sense. So use what they recommend. We'll just go ahead and tighten them down from the back side again. Now you're pretty safe to torque them at this point because that ESC board is going to line them up for the FC. Okay. I used to have a fucking socket. There it is. Hee hee. Cheat. Okay. Damn. Fucking bugs this year suck. Suck, suck, suck. So I'm going to tighten these first. And we're going to bring these down. Just makes life easier. You have to get your little fingers on. Fucking flies. Trash can or damn. Bardwell's pigs must be in here. Alright. So, then what we're going to do, we're going to tin this baby up real quick. Only going to take a second. Now, we've got 2 options. You could solder from the bottom side of the CSC, but we're not going to because there's not a hell of a lot of clearance. So, damn it. Alright. Zoop. Good enough. Take our soldering iron. We're going to tin this up real quick. Damn it. Hang on. It takes me longer to get shit done after I've cleaned my bench because nothing's fucking around. Okay. Oops. Just a little bit because we're going to be tinning the wires too. You don't need a huge glob like that on there. Wonk. Just a little bit. Not but a peanut. Some other dude said, he left a comment. He's like, oh, fucking bugs me that you say that. You know where I got that? When I used to be into weightlifting, and I was really big into the weightlifting thing for a few years. Long time ago, 5 years ago. No, for about 3 years, 4 years. Ronnie Coleman, who used to be the, he was Mr. Universe like 8,000 times or something. big old dude, fucking huge. He used to say it all the time. He'd pick up like 1,000-pound stiff leg deadlift or something and be like, "Not my peanut." I'm like, shit, that's where I got that. So there we go, that is done. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to zoom out. We're going to cut our motor wires. This is the part that always makes new guys nervous. They're like, "I don't know how to cut my wires." So what I do, I just bring them up. Oh, somebody's waking up. I'm babysitting. Okay, so bring them up to there, cut them right to about 1.5 mils off the board. Bam, done. Then we're going to tin each wire. Very, very simple process. So we're just going to take our thumbnail, oops, strip everybody down. I will trim that wire because it's a little bit long. Now, how I do this, yes, I'm going a little overkill on this build just because I haven't done a micro build in a while. We're going to go behind the wires with the soldering iron and then cross over the wire with your solder. And it should melt right across the top. Bam, perfect. Now this one's a little bit long. Boom, okay. See, easy, easy, easy. So we're going to straighten these out. Hang on a minute. Alright, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. The smoking hot wife came home and we had to deal with that. So I'll probably get interrupted 75 more times. So, real quick, all we're going to do, we're going to take our tweezers, bend the wire over, and what you want to do, if possible, is hold the wire and bend it down with your finger, and then you can solder it on. Oops. Yeah, just like that. Very simple. And we'll neaten it up as we go. Don't go out of your way to be all anal retentive about it right off the bat. There's always time to fix stuff. Alright, so, wonk. There we go. Not too bad, right? Alright, so what we're going to do now is, I'm going to do the other 3, and you don't need to watch that. We'll be right back. Bam. Alright, here we are. We're back. Look how pretty. Very cool. So, what we're going to do now, just for shits and grins and fun, why is it I clean and I can't fucking find anything? Alright, we're going to go ahead and conformal coat motor leads only. The only reason, this is not waterproofing the bird, the only reason I do this is in case something on his workbench comes across the leads or something like that. Just, that's it. Not waterproofing it. I only waterproof certain birds. So, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take that flight controller, which is Mia, and then we are going to put her on. So, she's going to go this way, which sucks because the USB port's going to be in the front, but that's okay. It's going to be a set it and forget it type of thing. This is a pretty easy access frame, so I'm not worried about it. So a little trick with these teeny ass M2 nuts, stick it on your thumb, stick your thumb in your roto twister, or lemonade in this case, so sad, and then push it down and rotate like that to get it started. Bam, done. Very quick, very easy. These are metal screws, which that's one of the other reasons I love these micro stacks, because they do use metal M2 screws. Very, very cool. So, I do not like plastic screws holding my stack in on a full-size bird or a micro, because if those nylon screws that go through here break during a crash, you have to tear the whole fucking bird apart again. And here's another kick in the dick with this you have to be really careful with. If you're using plastic and you've got pins like that and part of the plastic breaks, then you're fucked and it goes like that and it rips the pins out. It's like, it's bad, bad flavor. So, there you go. So, what we're going to do, notice we have the directional arrow going this way. I could have rotated this stack so it went in this way, but I like the leads coming out the sides. I just do. That's how I roll. So, what we're going to do next, see where it says negative and VTX? That's really fucking bad because that's battery voltage. We have to have 5 volts and negative for our our VTX. But we could go into battery and negative with our camera if we wanted to, but we'll work on that. So we're going to tin those up. VTX, cam, negative 5 volts. And let's see what else we got here. 5 volts, we're going to tin these up. 5 volts negative S-bus. 3 volts we don't need. DSMX, we don't need any of that. Beeper, I'll see if I got a beeper for them, but I don't know if I do or not. And then there's our boot button. So you're going to bring your camera signal into here, your VTX signal into here, our S-bus signal into here, positive and negative. And then we got 5 volt positive, 5 volt negative as well, and another 5 volt over here. Cool? Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and tin those up. Don't need to see that real quick. Well, maybe I do. Fuck it. Why not? We're not doing anything else important, are we? I'm just going to tin everything because it's faster. All right. Nothing but a peanut. So micros are fun. You know, they take a bang pretty good, which I like. They don't have that inertia that big birds have. Yeah, you get a bird doing, like even a Mocha JJ, you know, doing 110 miles an hour or whatever you're doing, it'll split up. But these guys, and this is very, very fast. Oops. Very, very fast bird. Don't get me wrong. This bird's going to clip. But it doesn't have that inertia, so they tend to handle hits and tits pretty good. So, very good. Sorry about that tinning. I just did that from, 3 feet away. Anyway, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hook up our camera. So let's pop this open. Sound effects. My brother Nay, who is the guy who makes all my intros and outros, with the J-Bot dancing around and all that. He's a fucking brilliant graphics guy. And he's always after me to do a better job editing. And I love the guy dearly. He's like, oh, do this, and you're going to look perfect if you edit it like that. And I'm like, yeah. Editing's your thing, dude. I do it quick and nasty. I don't start over when I make a mistake. I don't edit out mistakes. I don't do any of that crap. So, here we go. Next thing's next. We've got to mount the camera. Is going to go onto the posts right here. So, you basically need to go on the outside like that, okay? So, we're going to take our little screws. Isn't this boring? You watching this shit? Fuck, speed it up. Alright. So, if this is going on the outside of the camera, little TPU mount. We're not going to tighten that up just yet. I think this frame, I want to say it was what, 35 bucks, something like that. Not too bad. I mean, they give you a lot of stuff. I mean, Mocha JJ's about the same price, I think, so. But Mocha JJ is a different class of bird. It is not a micro 2.5 inch. Damn it. I love it when they're not long enough. Ah! Bardwell's girlfriend says that. Ah, fuck me. Alright, let me fix this grip. Alrighty, so you notice I have, there's the mounts on the camera, easy enough. You notice I have not put the posts in the frame yet, just because it's easier to work around shit without having that in your way. So, as for our camera cable, okay, that little white doohickey there is for your OSD menu clicker thing, right there. I got about 8 million of those damn things. So then what we're going to do, you got to think, okay, your camera's going to be about here. Our connections are going to the very back. All right. Yep. 5 volt. Oh, that's S-bus and all that crap. So we'll take care of these little pointy solder bits here and there. That's what you get for soldering 3 feet away. All right. No big deal. The soldering iron's way too hot. All right. So our camera is off to the side here, so we're just going to cut right about there. Good enough. The other thing that I do is your OSD, your voltage sensing wire, we're not going to be, hey, wait a minute. Ooh, ain't that a dick? Look, positive lead's missing. Oh, that ain't cool. Not kosher. All right. It has popped out, and there it is. Nice. Ew. That bothers me. Okay. So we're going to slide that guy back in. Dun 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 dun. Hopefully. Okay, we're good. Damn, that was weird. I've never had that happen with a Fox here. Alright, so anyway, back to the point. This gray guy right here is your voltage sensing wire. We are using OSD. We do not need that. We'll leave that. We're going to strip all three of these. Bam, we'll tin those up. Give them a little twist. The twist is to get the air out of it, believe it or not. And it gives you a better solder joint, and it's to keep the fray wires from touching anything inside. So we got our 5 to 40 volts here, whatever it is, ground and video signal. I'm gonna go ahead and tin those up and solder it on, then I'll show you what we did. And we're back. So here's what we have doneage. There is your, where it says cam, it's really hard to see, but it says cam right there. That's your camera signal. Our ground over here, and we went straight to battery because our VTX is 5 volts. The camera can handle battery voltage, that VTX cannot. So if he puts a 3S on here, poof, it's gonna blow up. So we swap them around. So basically then I will put the VTX negative on negative, VTX positive on the 5 volts right here, and the VTX signal to right there. As always, what I do after I'm done soldering, I will lay my finger over the solder joints. I'll give them a twist. Keeps everything nice and neat and pretty. Okay, perfect. So, next thing's next. We are going to put the rear post in and mount our VTX holder. Now, I don't know, I can't remember if this holds one of these or not. Can't remember. It does. Okay, cool. So, first thing we're going to do, we're going to leave him with this aerial antenna, or the dipole, right? So, what we're going to do with that, we're going to give it the old JJ feel-good thing. Where's my hot glue? Hang on. All right. I always have a hot glue gun. All right, we'll do that in a second. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, while that's heating up, we're going to go ahead and trim these. I am not using the 5 volts here. Trim those off. Okay. We're going to take this, figure we're going to be about here to here. Yeah, good enough. Bam, like that. Strip these, and I will solder this in, and that'll be right at the back. Alright, so we're done with that. Same principle applies, like I said with this. Oops. We want negative VTX, and then our signal to VTX goes into VTX, and our 5 volts for the VTX goes into 5 volts. Do not put it on battery. Magic smoke will pop out. Again, put your thumb over these, twist this up. Putting your thumb over those keeps them from tearing out, just in case, you know, you don't need to put stress on there. There. Perfect. Okay. Rock and roll. So what is next? While my hot glue gun is heating up, we're almost done with this baby. While the hot glue gun is heating up, wow, they gave me 3 of these things? Huh, okay. We are going to put in the Vasiva. Now, one of my brother in Croatia, the other day, he was doing a build. Oh, this isn't a VTX03. This is that funky one. The Art XSR, which I actually like better. I don't know if I like it better, but it's pretty sweet. I like it. But with this, with the XM Plus, they don't give you wires like this one. They give you other shit. So what you do is when you cut down your run cam or your Foxy or whichever camera you're using, you cut those wires down, use the spare wire that came with it that you cut off, and use that for your receiver wire. Works out great. So this little guy, first thing we're going to do, I don't know what they do. over at Tyrannus, FR Sky, whatever you want to call them, but double-sided tape never sticks to their shit. It bothers me. So what you got to do is take electrical tape, or I never use electrical tape on a bird, but Captain tape will stick to it, and then you put your double-sided tape on the Captain tape. Okay, so we're going to take that double-sided tape. I will put in the description of this video where to get all of this build. Reasonably priced build. It's going to be a really fast, really fun bird. We're going to put that double-sided tape over those spiked pin connectors. Okay, so if you look at this particular model, oh, for fuck's sake, you got ground, 5 volts, S port, S bus, because this one does have telemetry on it. So we will wire that up for him as well. So ground, 5, and S port and telemetry. So S port is going to go, your S bus is going to go into the S bus plug pad right there. It's third over to the left, to the right, sorry, right here. And then we just find any other UART TX, and we'll stick that S port in there, and he'll have telemetry if he uses it. I don't use telemetry on quads, but a lot of people do. So let me solder this up, and I'll do it up on. All right, kids. Now, the other UART, the spare UART, if I remember right, it's on the bottom of this board, so I am not putting in that S port. I will leave the wire there in case my brother wants to put it in the future, but again, I'm not a big fan of telemetry on a quad. I don't fly that far away with them, so I just don't need it. There we go. We'll twist that up. Bam! Look at that shit. So there's our camera. There's our VTX. We'll go ahead and do our VTX trick now. Hang on. We're going to take a little piece of this. Well, let's see. No, maybe we won't. Don't really want to use. Mama said this was green. See if I got some. Nope. So we're gonna have to use black. So what we're gonna do, I've done this trick a million times, but we're gonna bring this heat shrink all the way down to the base and measure all the way up to about the halfway point of the dipole antenna. Doesn't have to be perfectly accurate. Okay. Then let's slide this over here. Okay, and very quickly hit this with the hot glue, and very quickly slide this down like that. And we're going to let that sit for a second. So then we're going to be this way. I'm going to give him a little bit of an angle on that. So what we're doing next, take our trusty heat shrink doohickey. Hang on. Our quadcopter hair dryer. And what we're going to do is we're going to give him a little bit of pitch back angle. Okay. So all right, now pitch back angle meaning we're going to do this, okay? Because you got to remember, quads fly at an angle, they never fly flat, right? So what this is going to do is it's going to kind of give his aerial a vertical orientation while he's flying, and probably help his reception a little bit. No big deal. Okay, now this is the marine heat shrink that I use, but you can use the normal stuff. The marine heat shrink has the glue inside, but what this does, doesn't have to be. But the hot glue in there, what that does is that gives it a little bit of rigidity, and at any time he can go ahead and heat this up with a lighter, and he can bend it in any shape he wants, and since it's all the way down around here, it will keep his antenna from popping off in a crash. How nice is that? So Telling you guys, that's worth its weight in gold right there. So now we're gonna hook this together. And we're almost done, kids. So we're gonna slide that through. Make sure you don't pinch your motor wire. These are cool little frames. I like them. They are, I have to say, the TomoQuad EVO-X, or whatever the hell this is called, is my favorite 2.5-inch frame at this point. I like the Mocha Micro too, I suppose. Ooh, we gotta put the battery lead on. Shit the bed. That helps. At this point too, we can also test our prostate. So make sure we don't have any direct shorts. Take your meter. All right. Put it on continuity. Make sure we don't have a direct short to ground. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and whip up a XT30 with some wires coming out the back, and we will solder that up. Be right back. All right. Cool. So here we go. We wired that in. Now, here's a trick I do. It's not really a trick. It's just how I do it. There's no trick about it. I can formal coat whenever I do a battery connector. I can formal coat it. I really don't know why. I think it's just fucking habit. Then I put a little bit of heat shrink over it. Again, fucking out of everything. I think this is way too big. Yep. And we'll just take this little piece there. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but that little piece is not going to fit over that. So what I do is I cut it, like say, get a cleaner end. Right about there. Oh, fuck me. Where'd that go? There it goes. Okay. Take a needle nose pliers. I stretch it. I slide this over. Do it this way. And quadcopter hairdryer. Bam. Okay, then we will take conformal, zap it over the top of those battery leads. Beauty. Then I'm going to twist this up. Give a little bit of pizzazz. Then we're going to take, where'd that little, a fucking mess. Okay, this guy. Just stick our VTX in here. Be careful not to fuck up these wires coming out of the VTX. I'm not sure how great this is going to fit. I've never used this before like this. I don't love it. Come on, TomoQuad, get your shit together, guys. Alright. I never use it on my other TomoQuad builds. So where's the top plate? You can go ahead and put the camera on. Plug that guy in. Put him right there. Bam. All right. And then we got to find the top plate to the frame because you're an idiot, dude. There we go. There's our V-tail. Off to that side. I don't love the way that's mounting in the back. Let me work on something. All right, and we're back. So I did a couple other little things too. I think TomoQuad needs to redesign their little fucking TPU holder for the VTX because I'm not sure what it's supposed to hold, but it's too big for a VTX 03, and a lot of people are using those nowadays. So I ended up zip stripping this in against the rear post there. Should hold them in there perfectly fine, but I don't like the way that looks, but sorry about your luck. And then we also put the, you can't use hot glue, by the way. VTXs heat up and it will fall out. So we did it that way. Normally with mine, the last one I built, I actually bent the antenna going this way and double-sided taped it under here, so the antenna came out like a smokestack here. It was pretty cool. But I wanted to build it the right way, so yeah, there you go for him. And then I put the antenna tube holder on there. This kit does not come with antenna tubes. Just FYI on that, so I cut a couple down. He's getting black because that's what I have. Nice. Looks good. The other thing I forgot, and I spaced it, is the bottom chin guard here. You need to put that on too, you know. So yeah, bam, there it is. She is done. Look at that. So very, very cool bird. The whole build took maybe 10 minutes longer than this video, and that was with me talking and stopping and being me. So that, you know, for me, this is about a half an hour build, 40 minutes, whatever. But very, very cool bird. Gonna be very fast. I'm planning on doing the pop test tomorrow. If not tonight, I don't know. We'll see what my mood is like. So we're gonna pop some props on here just for looks. These are 2.5-inch King Kongs, which I actually really like. They fly really well. I'm gonna give him a bunch of these too, because I don't use them anymore really. Okay, let's see what our dry up weight is without the battery strap. 100 grams, 101. That's everything but the battery strap. Where's the battery strap? Remind me to put that on later. So anyway, yeah, for those of you that are looking for, hey, you know, sub 250 and all these people that are crying about that shit, let's pop a battery on there. Little tiny 2S, which this will actually fly very, very good in this bird. It's a 450. Yep, shit the bed. That's going to be 130 grams. And then if we went with a, hang on a minute, a 3S is a horrible battery. Never buy a Lumineer battery, guys. Crap. But that's a 4S. Hang on. Still, don't buy them. Fucking crap. Hang on. All right. Jeez, got a lot of batteries. There's a 550 3S. These are good batteries. I like these. $156. Bam. Okay. So, for you guys who want to go fast and do sub 250, woohoo! There you go. Obviously, these are not screwed on yet. I still have to set it up on Betaflight and all that good stuff, or Butterfly, depending on what I do. But it's a very sharp-looking bird, very light, very fast. Trust me, I've built a bunch of these. I know how fast they go. They are very quick. Just about fast. It's not the lightest 2.5-inch frame you can get, but it's the coolest, and it's very, very strong. I've never broken one. And that's saying something from JJ, because I can break fucking anything. So, anyway, kids, I think that's it. Keep your shy side up. Rich, here's your new bird. It'll be coming to you after the test. Bam. Later, kids. Bye.